So I wanted to do a video today because I have been moving through, like probably many of you, a major shift in the way I'm living my life. And for me, right now, it's about launching my new business. It's about servicing myself to the world on a level that I have never done before. And it began last week when I actually launched my Facebook page and started working on my website for Truelifepractice. And I was super excited. I was happily at work, putting all the details together. I was in a state where I was feeling super hyped and really optimistic. Then comes this week, where I found myself waking up and having moments of, what the am I doing? Do I know what I'm doing? What the hell did I do last week? And then I'd look at what I had done and I would be like, what are you doing, Crystal? You don't know what you're doing. And so the inner critic had reared its ugly head to get me to a place of supreme doubt. And I didn't recognize it as doubt at first. I was looking at it as, well, I'm still working on things. I just need to edit. I just need to change this, or, I'm giving myself some positive self-talk. So it wasn't like it came immediately out the blue and just hammered me. No, this week has been a slow creep up my spine that had me today feeling very low. And when I had to tune in and I was meditating and feeling the feelings and not judging what I was feeling, I realized I was feeling really unworthy. I was feeling really like as if I had been posing as some kind of fraud. And now I was afraid that I was going to be called out. And people are going to look and see what I have posted, what I've shared, or whatever I develop and put out there, and immediately look at it and say, look at her. Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Who does she think she is? And whenever that voice comes up, where I start questioning my own self-worth, I have enough experience with dealing with that inner critic, those voices, because there's not just one voice. They come up as many different voices, and sometimes they're voices that we recognize and they're familiar, and sometimes they're not, And one of the voices that came up this week really strongly for me was in the voice of my father, who I have had a, you could say, rocky relationship with at times. And all of a sudden, I'm now questioning myself about things that he had brought up in the past. I am now second guessing my talents and my abilities because of things he had said in the past. And this represents a wound. This represents that father wound that most of us still carry, where we are unconsciously caught up in seeking validation from others. Because when we seek validation from the external, from outside of ourselves, whether it's from actual people we know or just the general internet, we put ourselves in a position of powerlessness. We put ourselves in the position of, I am not worthy until, or I am not worthy unless, or I'm only worthy when the money comes in, or the clients come in, or the whatever the outcome it is that I think is success, when that happens, that's proof that I'm worthy. And it keeps us chasing our own tails in a loop, you know? So I had to really get still and feel into those feelings to first identify, well, how is it that I feel, you know? Because this all starts coming up from nowhere. Like nothing happened. Between last week and this week, nothing happened except the days of the calendar moved forward, you know? But this is what the ego does. This is what the mind does. Is it does have a way of jumping back and forth in the past, future, past, future, past, future. And we compare things. And then when we compare things, we judge them. We judge them as right, we judge them as wrong, better or worse. And I did not realize that was the cycle I had got myself caught up in this week, you know, in a real loop-de-loop of self-judgment. So I have been praying and asking Spirit to help me see what I have not been able to see about this cycle, this pattern that's playing out. And once I did ask the Holy Spirit for guidance, boy, did it come. Boy, did it come. Because not only did I get to the place of seeing the story I was telling about myself and what I was doing with my website, what I was doing with Truelifepractice, hearing myself tell a story where I was not good enough, Spirit sent my father to message me. So I ended up getting an email from him out of the blue yesterday, and he was informing me that he had just published a new book. He's a poet and a writer, and it was the link to his book on Amazon. And it was such a surprise to see this email, because I knew it was an opportunity for me to engage in some healing, you know, like even if he didn't know it, this was an opportunity for me to heal this wound and celebrate with him, congratulate him, thank him for sharing this wonderful news with me. And that's exactly what I did, you know, and it didn't happen right away. I took the time I needed to find my peace again, to find the stillness, so I wasn't in that state in my head of, well, what's Dad gonna think, or what should I say? No, I really just wanted to tune into the feelings of love and gratitude that I have for him. And once I did that, I was able to respond to his email, and I felt such a lightness in my being after doing that, because I knew that I was asking him for forgiveness and also giving it to myself, you know, because neither one of us had done anything wrong. Although I had a story in the past of who he was, who I am as his daughter, the different ways that this father wound plays out is varied, and it comes up in the most insidious of ways, you know, because the father wound represents our self-esteem and sense of self-worth and who we are as we move out into the world. And so, of course, my ego wanted to seize this opportunity to have me question my own worth, as if this was going to stop me, you know? But it didn't. Not with the Holy Spirit on my shoulder, coaching me and guiding me along the way. So I sent that email off this afternoon. I prayed and I thanked God for the guidance that the Holy Spirit had delivered to me. And I said, you know, let me take myself for a walk. So here I am at the park, my favorite spot near my home, where you could see the gorgeous fountain. It's a lagoon. It's a beautiful lagoon. And soaking up the beauty of this wonderful day. It's gorgeous outside here in Toronto right now. And I feel like although I haven't gotten a lot of external work done on my website and business this week, like I had last week and I was beating myself up about, I've done a lot of inner work this week. And I think that's more important because everything comes from within. So I wanted to just make this video and share this with you and also mark it for myself, because now that this lightness has returned, the heaviness is gone, I look forward to seeing where Spirit will move me now that I'm not feeling weighed down and bogged down by that negative judgment and self-talk that I was doing, those voices of doubt that just get you all mixed up and confused and wondering if you're walking in the right path, So that's why it's always important to get still, to tune in to your spirit, your inner wisdom, however you want to call it, your inner knowing. That is your source of truth. And it's within your heart, You got to get out of your head and move into your heart. And once you do that, with a willingness just to listen and be loving with yourself, you will always find the right next step. So this was my right next step, which I am going to enjoy right now and appreciate the gift of today. Much love. Take it easy. Bye.